Okay, great. Okay, so I'll just quickly explain again. So we're in the folder for your service. We clicked on domiciliary care. We're in caring. We click on caring, and then it brings up these two choices. So add. We click on add, and there's a drop-down box, and it gives you the 5 sections to complete of audits for caring. Again, if we click on effective, we have a choice again of the areas here to record, to do the audits. So each audit that you do can be saved into the folders at the top. So you have each section here to save into. And if I go responsive, again, the sections are there. So each one has its own section. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with caring, and we'll go to learning culture and do an audit around, kindness, compassion, and dignity. Okay. So again, this is a demonstration video that I'm doing to show you an audit. So if you've got access to this, we give you access to this, you wouldn't have this complete list of drop down. You would have only the people that you have chosen to have access to the audit. So since this is the title of our audit today, for kindness, compassion, and dignity in the caring section, I'm going to add a date here, today's date of the 30th of May. And that will show me where, if I have to, for instance, if you've got to go away, you've been interrupted, you've been called away, you can find this audit again, and I'll show you how. But first of all, I'm going to complete this first page, which is setting up the audit. So this shows me that it's due on tomorrow. Well, that's too soon. I don't think I'm going to complete it today. I've had too many interruptions. So I'm going to choose another date by clicking on the calendar. There it is. And I'm going to choose Monday's date or even Tuesday's date to give me a couple of days to do this audit. And I'm now going to assign myself, which is, it defaults to info. But if I have another name here, and that's my pseudo name, so I'll click on that name, but you can only choose one person to do the audit, because this is that individual's audit. So I've chosen that name, and at the end here, I'm going to put a little description to provide. Now this little box here, you can put anything in this box that you want, as long as you've got all of the information that you think that the inspector will need to provide your evidence for the CQC requirements, statements. For the CQC statements audit requirements. And then we press add task, right? So that's our audit set up and ready to go. So if now we've gone away and we come back again and we click on caring, okay, right? So there we go into the kindness, compassion, and dignity, because we know that's where we started. And I've done a couple. You probably wouldn't have this big long list that I have. But there's today's, oh gosh, where is it? The 30th. Sometimes it puts it at the bottom.
It's at the bottom.
Did I see it at the bottom?
Yeah,
there it is. There it is. Okay, so I click on it. Great. And we press continue, because we've now, this page over here tells us that we set it up today. It's due on the 3rd. I started by me. Okay, and it's assigned to this person here, which is a pseudo name I set up for myself. And I'm going to press continue to take me to, there are sections to complete, which cover people's experience, the I statements, the processes, and the improvement plan, as I said at the end. So again, the adult overview is all of the overview of the quality statements, what the quality statement means, and the CQC evidence sources for this quality statements. So each section here in these 3 sections will need to be read. Once we've read them, if each time we click on the little arrow at the end, it takes us through what it is. We click on the next arrow, and then we can read what that says. We've read all of this. It's nothing to do, it's just to read it and then to acknowledge that we've read it by continuing to the audit. And it gives us a little box here to say, we have read and understood the or it's understood, and then you can add more in if you want. And then they continue to the audit. And now we're going to go into the people's experience. So that was the first part that we're going to, if we click on continue here, and you can see that the adult overview has been ticked, where we read all the statements, we understood it. At any time, we can go back over that and read it again if we're not sure. So we press continue. And now we've got some questions here we need to answer in the people's experience. So the sources of evidence, and in this case, there isn't. But as you can see, the second question has sources of evidence here, which is the complaints log, comments, suggestions, and complaints form. So these areas here, and they will appear on the report at the end, shows you that you are using these documents to provide evidence. Okay, so we have feedback obtained by the provider from the local community. Consider the evidence and rate yes for compliant or no for non-compliant. If no, the outcome will be recorded in the improvement plan at the end. So it's like an improvement action plan. And there's a little drop-down box when we click on the little blank space and we click yes. We're going to choose yes for this one. We are meeting the evidence. So we're going to put consider the evidence and rate yes for compliant or no. Okay. Feedback obtained by the provider from the local community. We have records from local community groups and other stakeholders. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that as I can for quickness. And I'm just going to put on here that yes, we have evidence. You can dress it up as much as you like. You have the space to do that. And we click save. So every question at the end needs to be, you need to click on save so that it takes you and allows you to fill in the next question.
Oh.
So we give feedback on care. There are records of compliments and complaints. You can see those are all of the documents that go with it. So yes, again, we can just copy that. Yes, we are. And then it takes us to the next section. Oh. So we copy that. There are several questions that we need to answer here, and it's all the same. So it's very simple, all the same sort of layout. So you should get through this quite quickly. I would say about 15, 20 minutes, really. Again, commissioners and other system partners. We have feedback from system partners, which shows we are responsive. And we have policy that relates to cooperative working. Right. I don't know if it's going to let me copy that this time. Yes. I'll copy. Put that in here. And then we go save.
Save.
And we move on to the next question. Whistleblowing policy and lessons learned policy. And we have whistleblowing policy and records of any whistleblowing and how we respond. Sorry, the box is in the way. Responded to it. So if I just copy that again. Actually, for this question, I'm going to put a no. And even though if I copy that, I'm going to amend it. And I'm going to say no. We have we have to implement a whistleblowing policy and records of any whistleblowing and how we responded to it. So that's telling us we know we haven't met that one. And we'll come back to that one at the end to show that we haven't met that requirement. And we're going to press save there. And we're going to go on to the people's experience. We're on health. That must be the last question. Healthcare professionals working in or with the service. The records show that we have carried out surveys of health and care professionals working in or with the service. So if I go in, they could show, and I click on that and just copy, paste it in there. And then we press save. It's not allowing us to, you see, because you can do that. If it keeps going around like that, it means it hasn't accepted that yes. And now it has, and we click save again. And we've got people's experience done. So we can move on to continue. If we press continue here, you will see that the next box that appears under adult overview in the next page will show that we've ticked it. So you've got another opportunity to add more text there, but I'm just going to press continue for now for quickness. So there we go. So both of these have been completed. At any time, you can go back over it if you're not sure and you wanted to carry on adding other things into it. So we press continue now, and we are now at the I statements questions. Again, we're saying yes, and I've only chosen one no. so that we can do the action plan for the no at the end. And I'm just going to keep saying yes to these. Oh, right. Don't know if that changed. In here, Control and V. And then we press save. There's only one question in that I statements, and I've got a feeling that there isn't any processes. Just keep going on. We press continue again. Right. And now you can see for this particular kindness, compassion, and dignity, there were no processes there. So we've come straight to the improvement plan. So that's quite good because we were quite wanting to get through this audit quite quickly. So this pink bar at the top here means that we have something to do. And if you can see there, we got assign the task. So the improvement plan we need to assign a task to somebody who's going to go away now and find why we have not got a whistleblowing policy and records of any whistleblowing and how we responded to it. So we click on that. The manager to ensure there are up-to-date records on report of whistleblowing. So who are we going to assign? So we'll find somebody to assign, and a big drop-down list comes up with names. Again, I'm going to choose myself, that I'm going to be the one to go. There are records in place. You don't have to fill that in because it's in there already, but I've just put it in again. I'm trying to get this box keeps coming in my way. Sorry, move it out the way. Assign the task. So that means now we have this opportunity to go away and get the information. And again, we click on caring because we've gone away now. We've gone out of it. We've come back to it. We find it again at the end, and there it is. And that means now we can click. There's a date on there that we've got until we to produce this to complete this task. So we click on there, we press complete, and we've got an opportunity to say now that of course you will be putting much more in than I have. We now have records in place, and we click continue again. And it should show that we have completed. It says completed there, but we still have one more little thing to do. So we go out of the audit, we go back into the audit again, and we should see a green button at the end again to complete the audit, complete review, to complete the review of the audit. And a report should come up here for us to view at a glance. We can see we've read all of this. We've read all of the statements. We've answered some questions. We've given feedback on care. And we've done all of this. This has all been done. And you can see our little answers over the records show that we have carried out surveys. We have to implement whistleblowing. We've answered all of these. And you can see our improvement plan now shows a green bar, which means it's completed. Once it's been completed, we can now view the report, a printed report. So we go to the top. And we can see there's a friendly report option, print a friendly view. It opens up, and this gives us the opportunity to either save it onto our folders on our PC or print it off. So again, all of the questions that we've answered, all in there. Oh, I think I've got in here, we have read and understood somewhere. It appears in here. Have a look. Right, I can't see it there. We have read and understood. So I've put that in there. And on that date, that was when I put it in. Feedback from care, we've answered yes. Yes there. And we have records from local community groups and other stakeholders. Yes, there are records of compliments and complaints. So all of our feedback is there, all answered. And we get down to the improvement plan, and it's showing us that it's all completed. So that is the end of the audit. And then we move on to the next audit. Is that quite clear for you? Clear enough? Easy to see, easy to do?
Yes,
I think, I think once we get to do it, it will become easy.
Yes.
Because right now it feels like there's so many areas to navigate.
I have got guidance. Yeah. I have got a sheet with guidance in it, and it takes you through the steps of how you can complete the audit. And it will take you step by step and give you screenshots of what you need to do. And then I'm also here at the end of the phone. You just phone me if you're stuck on anything of how to go forward, or if you can't find anything. But that's it in a nutshell. What would you like to do from here? I have
Um,
had given somebody, is it yourself that requested, Christina, a 7-day trial?
no, we've already subscribed, isn't it? So
Oh, that's right. You were subscribing already. Sorry about that.
yeah.
Have you not had a go to do one yourself?
I've kind of managed to get in.
Okay.
I really haven't, to be honest, I haven't had time to kind of dedicate, because I think I'll need, for myself, I'm a slow learner, but I need a couple of hours just to get my head around it.
Yes.
I haven't had that opportunity yet.
What I'm
Yeah,
going to
so
do, I think the best thing I can do is I'm going to speak to Stuart, because he knows how to get the link for the training that I've just done the recording, and I can
yeah,
send you the recording. Actually, I'll stop the
okay.
recording for now. Let's have a look. Stop recording.